Been raised by a single mother since I was 4 years old, and if you're watching this, chances are that you also didn't have a father in the home growing up. Or if you did, your father was absent and not really involved in your upbringing. We all have people in our lives who are raised by single mothers, don't we? Maybe like me, you've come across so many cases that over time it's become normalized in your head. It's nothing out of the ordinary for a child to lack 50% of their household. It's almost just accepted, if not encouraged by society and the media, that mothers can do it all themselves and they're superheroes, and that the child will be just as well off without their father. And the statistics really show how prevalent the issue is. In the US, around 1 in 4 children are raised by single mothers. And of those, you have more than 8 million boys. In the UK, approximately 3 million households are run by a single parent, most of which are run by single mothers. And still in the US, you have 90% of homeless or runaway children being raised in fatherless homes. And those children raised in fatherless homes are 20 times more likely to be incarcerated. 20 times. So I could go on, but you can look up the statistics for your specific country. But the bottom line is that young men massively suffer, and society suffers as a result from not having fathers around. Of course, there are loads of issues that girls experience too, but I'm just making this channel for men. So I wanted to dive into what are the key causes of this breakup of the family nucleus. Why has it become so widespread and so acceptable or even encouraged to break up the family? The factor has been rising divorce rates. Now, while the rates have been coming down in the last few years, they're still much higher compared to historical averages. So why is that? Well, firstly, it's more socially acceptable now for people to divorce. I remember talking to my grandparents. They said that it simply wasn't something that people did back in their time. There was so much shame associated with breaking up the family that nobody really dared to do it. Whereas now it's just become so much more acceptable and, if anything, encouraged. In many jurisdictions around the world, there have been legal changes which have made it more frictionless for people to file for divorce, and in some cases outright financially advantageous, often for the wife, to do so. And these changes have come in addition to the pre-existing causes of divorce, such as financial struggles, which have only become more severe in recent years. There's a lack of communication between partners, which has only become exacerbated by the life that we lead. Working, commuting in traffic, doing chores, admin. It simply doesn't leave much room for the husband and wife to discuss and work through problems that would otherwise help keep the family together. Another reason is the changing cultural trends. And a big theme within that is female empowerment. By now, we're well aware that women are more academically and financially successful than they've ever been in the past. And this is something that's widely praised and acknowledged by society. We've come to worship this image of the strong, independent woman who can do it all on her own and can fend for herself. And on the one hand, it's been amazing to see women being able to provide that security for themselves. But on the other hand, it's also led to the bar of women who do these things to become so high for a man who is worthy of their attention that only a select few men in the entire world actually make the cut. And by extension, what that leads to is it leads to a lot of lonely women who are not satisfied with anyone they meet and simply either break up through divorce or they never start a family in the first place. In addition to a way of living that makes it more frictionless for couples to break up. With the rise of social media, dating sites, it's just become easier to find another option than to work on the relationship that you already have. And a lot of us are falling for that temptation of simply jumping ship and starting a new relationship than fixing whatever problem is going on in our marriage, instead of going to therapy or spending time and hours communicating with your partner about whatever issue it is that you're having. We're all looking for that instant gratification these days, and the way we date is just one manifestation of that. A third reason, which often causes the first two, is men. It's us. You see, we haven't really done a great job of fulfilling our role in society as providers, as fathers and husbands. And granted, there have been cultural trends that have gone against us doing so. There's all the talk about toxic masculinity and female empowerment, as I mentioned before, just essentially making the man feel guilty for expressing his natural traits and bringing his qualities to the table that were so valued in the past. With women, wives now being so successful in their careers, are we really needed to be the sole income earner? Is there that much pressure on us to actually bring an income home and provide for the family? No. But that mentality isn't going to get us anywhere. I fully believe in just taking ownership of the situation, because that is an intrinsically masculine requirement, I feel, taking ownership of one's station in life. So we need to go on this journey of making ourselves better, going through the whole self-improvement arc and actually becoming more educated on relationships, careers, and just maxing out our stats to be that top option for our wives, for our partners, and to be the best fathers and husbands that we possibly can be. While women are well and truly able of providing for themselves, as we've already seen, they still enjoy a dynamic where the man makes decisions and treats her. And you see a woman transform, if you've ever been in the situation, before your eyes, becoming just more feminine. Her aura, her energy completely transforms. It's like she starts glowing, she becomes more beautiful, and you become more in love with her. And that makes you want to be more masculine. And that's the fundamental nature of polarity, having masculine energy and feminine energy. Now, in a relationship, you kind of go along a sliding scale where sometimes the woman is providing more masculine energy, sometimes you're providing more feminine energy. But by and large, we've seen that couples where the man is more often in the masculine end of the spectrum and the woman's on the feminine end of the spectrum tend to be happier and last longer. You need to always be the number one option in your woman's life. That's the single best way that you can ensure that you'll stay happy together. That means working on your body, on your mind, on your spirit. It means being an involved father, husband, boyfriend. It means all of those things. You can never get complacent once you enter a relationship. It's a mistake so many guys make. You must always grind and better yourself. Because if she is a high quality woman, like I'm sure you're aiming to be with, she will also be improving herself. And if she does that and you fall behind because you're a slob, well then, can you blame her for ditching you? The equation is to find a woman who has the traits that you're looking for. And if you're a masculine man, you will highly value traits of kindness, lovingness, femininity, and a strong maternal instinct to raise your children with love and care. So the first part is about you improving yourself to actually start getting the attraction of women and to have the option of meeting them. Because if you have zero options, bro, then there's no point in going to the part 2 about what it is that you truly want. So now that you have the options, you start meeting these women, you get to know them, you understand what makes them click, and you find the one who matches your own values. And don't be afraid to take your time with this, because I strongly believe this is the biggest decision of our lives. Choosing who we marry and who we have children with will literally make or break our life on this earth. So never feel the pressure to rush into anything. If there's one decision that you really want to put thought and care into, is this one. So we've covered some of the main reasons why families are falling apart and why more and more children are being raised without fathers, and how we as men can take ownership of the situation, work on ourselves, and reduce the risk of this happening to our own children in the future. Some of the main reasons why more and more families are breaking up and children are growing up without fathers in the home. And we've also talked about how we as men can take ownership of the situation, work on ourselves, and reduce the risk of that happening to our own children in the future. If this has helped you, drop me a comment below, as well as liking and subscribing. It massively helps the channel and it makes sure you don't miss more videos like this. Remember, you can join our school community in our free Discord server. Use the links in the description, as well as booking a one-to-one coaching call with me. I'll see you in the next video.